Man, I just went on this amazing date. But this girl, she's so fine, but she got a lot of baggage, man. A lot of baggage.
Oh my gosh, I just had the best date. It was so refreshing. I finally found someone who listens to all of my stories.
Man, I could talk to this girl about basketball. Like, that's rare. Like, real rare.
The only thing is, if he talked about the Rockets one more time, I was going to punch my eye out. A second date?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he asked first.
Miscommunication in the dating world can basically lead to a misconnection. What if you're oversharing, or what if what you're trying to say just doesn't land? Oh, that's such a struggle, but I need a drink to really process all this communication. I got Luke Cow in the building, baby! Hey. You're the owner of Makiin, and listen, I love Makiin's bar. And you have quite an array of cocktails. What is this?
So every cocktail is starting inspired by the city in Thailand. So the first word of cocktail name is a city name.
Oh.
Yeah. So this one is Chiang Mai Songkran. And this one is Bangkok Pad Thai. So everybody know that Pad Thai in Bangkok. This is Hua Hin Mango. And that is Thonburi Smoky. Gan Brew Jam is the last one.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We got to go make a connection at your bar. Because this one just doesn't do it justice, right?
Well, my bar have a lot of people seeing each other and then, making a little eye contact and start connection from there.
Yeah, I love it. And let's hope that they don't make any misconnections, because we've got Dr. V in the building, and I know she's going to diagnose all of the crossed signals. So let's get into it.
Yeah, what's up for a nightcap? Chill, kick back.
Put a finger down if you don't remember being taught how to effectively communicate. I deadass don't remember anybody sitting down with me teaching me how to communicate. And here I am as an adult struggling to communicate.
That's what we're diving into today, and I've got these two beautiful souls ready to share what they've been going through. We've got Holly Cotton, who's been down these streets trying to find a mate, and Phil Simmons, 1/4 of the Poor Horseman podcast, and he's the only fourth that's single as well. Yeah. And of course, Dr. Viviana Coles, our sex and relationship therapist, who's here to diagnose us and set us straight in this communication.
I am ready.
All right, so do you feel like you were ever taught how to communicate with a potential partner?
I do not. I grew up in a generation of where feelings weren't accepted to be talked about. It was, you suck it up, you do what you have to do, you move on with it. So it's kind of weird now being in this adult phase where it's more accepted for us to talk about it and talk about feelings and how things make you feel, and it's okay to love yourself. All of these things now, it's now acceptable. Mental health, holding all that stuff in, now they're like, oh, don't do that anymore. Now start talking. So it's definitely different coming from dating as a teenager before marriage, and then now as as a seasoned person dating again.
All right, Phil, same question to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's I never was taught, so for me it was more so like I'm shy. So I played that role. I didn't use communication. I used nonverbal communication to get the women. So, that's
I use nonverbal communication to get the women.
I love how he put that little disclaimer at the end.
But Dr. V, do you agree that most people have never been shown how to communicate with potential?
Yeah, unless they go to grad school for it, and grad school for psychology and marriage and family therapy like I did, most people don't know what active listening is. Most people don't know what effective communication looks like. And it's all trial by fire, which you can learn a lot that way. But for a lot of people, it does end up leading to a lot of heartache, a lot of misunderstandings and confusion and disappointment.
So where do you two find that your biggest misunderstandings or miscommunications lie? in the world of dating?
I think for me, just coming, and I call it my growth journey, because I feel that, you know, when you start reflecting on maybe I'm not always doing everything correctly myself before I go and blame the partner. So I feel like on my growth journey, I learned how to say how things make me feel in that moment rather than using that moment to define the whole relationship. And that was huge for me, because I was always like, you got me up, you know, like, you don't know who you've been talking to. And now I'm able to just say, I don't like that because it made me feel this way. And when you start identifying why you don't like things, how things make you feel, it's like now we can actually communicate and move past it, rather than me saying you're ignoring my feelings, or you never listen to me, or, you know, whatever. So now I think that that's a key thing for me, is why does this make me feel the way that I feel?
Wow.
And something we were talking about earlier backstage was this idea of like, we're kind of like AI in the sense that we learn from our experiences. And for instance, if you start telling somebody in the moment, hey, this is making me feel like this, it's very different than if all of a sudden after like months of holding it in, you come out and you're like, I can't stand the way you do this. Without the context, it loses a lot of the value and you can't learn as much from it. So I love that you learned to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot of growth.
That's the growth. I'm trying.
Holly gets an A+.
Okay, let's see what score my dear Phil comes up with. What's been your biggest struggle?
I've done so much wrong, right?
Oh, okay.
In my previous relationship.
I mean, that's important to note that you've done wrong.
Oh yeah, I definitely did wrong. So going into just dating, I wanted to take a new road, new path. So being honest, expressing myself, not holding things in. That's what you say?
Growth journey.
That's mine. So like, I have to say it, no matter what, no matter how it's gonna make the other person feel. I have to say it in order for me to be the best person that I can be.
Ooh, okay, I know we gotta talk about this honesty. So you stay right there, because we'll be right back unpacking how you should be sharing those feelings and how they might be taken if you don't consider your choice of words. Stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been talking about the struggles of communicating when it comes to the dating world. We've got Holly and Phil who are sharing, and we've got Dr. Viviana Coles who is discussing
And judging.
All right, Phil, before the break, you actually brought up some points that Dr. V and I discussed backstage about being honest and sharing how you feel, no matter how the other person takes it. That way you're heard, right? I assume that's your objective.
Yeah.
But there's a problem with that, Dr. V, right?
So it depends. If your intention and your objective is to actually grow in a relationship with this person and kind of keep the conversation going, then how you say something really matters. Your approach, your tone, then the choice of words. If it doesn't matter and you just want to get your point across and who cares how it lands, okay, say whatever you want. But in relationships, we have to be very mindful of that. And not that you have to cater to the other person at all times, but just keep that in mind, and I think it'll inform you in a very healthy way.
Yeah, because I feel like even in my relationships, I'll say all of them, I can be very blunt. I can say exactly how I feel, just so that I'm like, okay, just so you understand exactly how I feel. It doesn't matter my tone to me, but hearing this is like, dang, how badly did I make the other person feel?
Well, blunt and direct are two different things.
Really? Even
Yeah,
those two are different.
So blunt, it's telling somebody, I don't care how this cuts you. I don't care if this hits you. This is what it is. But if you really want to finesse and kind of see like, is this the beginning of a bigger conversation? I want to talk about this more. I want to invite you to answer and to ask more questions. Then it might not be bluntness. You might just want to be direct, especially if you're dealing with men. Men tend to not use as many words. They're not as loquacious as we are. And so if you can get to the point and then allow them to ask questions, you'll probably get to the same place. Whereas I know for me, I want to give you all the information so that you don't have that many questions.
Right.
But yeah, it's just a little bit of a difference there.
That's how I apologize too. I'll always say, and this is me still on my growth journey, but I'll say, I meant what I meant, but I apologize for my delivery. because sometimes it may not come out as, like you said, as nicely or whatever, but I meant what I said, because you got me messed up. So that was factual, but I could have worked on the delivery. I could have,
nicer.
I'm soft-spoken already. So, and then I choose my words I'm very particular with my words. So I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Like, I don't like that. I don't like hurting people's feelings at all. So I'm very particular with my words. I just watch what I say and how I say it. So.
Do you think you do it too much? Do you think that there
Kinda.
are times? Yeah.
Yeah, I know I overdo it. You can feel when you overdo it too. You can feel it from the other
You're
person.
overdoing it right
Overdoing what exactly? The being quiet and just like processing exactly what to say. So I'm leaving her just hanging as she's waiting for me to say something.
That's what I was thinking in my head. That I was like, that's how I would interpret that.
And guess what? The other person on the receiving end is trying to fill in those puzzle pieces and fill in those blank spaces. And they may not always do it in your favor. So sometimes even just saying, you know what, I need to process that, or I need to think about that. Active listening, just for everyone out there, in case you've never had this experience, is when someone says something to you and you stop and you respond back with what they actually said, not what you think they said, not with the takeaway message, and then you ask them, is that correct? Is that accurate? So many people get into arguments, they weren't even talking about the same thing. Like, let's just start with that.
I hate that. I hate when it's like, wait, we're saying the same thing. Yes. Oh my God. All right, we still got a lot more to unpack. I hear the hms and ums coming from Phil and Holly, so you stay right there. We'll be right back.
There is one sentence that if you say this sentence in communication, it can literally change the whole scope of the conversation. Say this sentence. What do you want me to hear or understand that I'm not currently hearing or understanding? That sentence. What do you want me to hear? What do you want me to understand that I'm not currently understanding? That question, that sentence can eventually bring unity, and it can bring peace to a relationship.
Or it can bring the end to it. All right, we've been talking about communication. You were applauding this man. Yes.
I'm always telling my clients, ask the question, I heard this. Is this what you want me to hear? What did you mean by that? Because nobody's perfect. Like, we can't expect that every word and every message is going to be succinct. This isn't like a TED Talk that you've practiced a million times. So ask them, okay, what I'm hearing is that you think that I'm controlling and stuck up and that I'm always thinking about myself. Is that what you are trying to say? Just ask. Ask the question.
But what about if they're
Okay,
upset?
both of y'all.
I'm thinking about when people are angry communicating. Like so if we're communicating, you probably did something that made me angry or hurt my feelings. So how are you telling people to take away the emotional part of it? Because that's what makes you, because you're like, oh, you did something to me that either hurt me or you made me angry. And now you're like, so what do you want me to hear from what you're saying? Like, I just want to knock you in the head for coming to me like that in such a calm tone, and I'm upset. So how do you equalize that?
It's easier said than done.
Okay,
Holly.
okay.
You're absolutely right. But if the whole point is to de-escalate so that y'all can deal with the problem and not now have to deal with your attitude, because that will trump everything. I have so many people who come in and say, we were talking about one thing, but then you called me a this, and now we just spent the last hour talking about that. So I'm talking about cutting it off before it gets there.
Okay,
Phil, go ahead, Phil. Go ahead, Phil. What you got?
It's three women up here, so I have the perfect opportunity to ask y'all. Why do...
Don't generalize now.
That part.
Okay, let me just say.
What do you want us to hear?
Sometimes women, you can say something, but they already have it in their head what you're gonna say, how you're gonna say it, and then when you say something, they take it to a whole nother level that you weren't even trying to go to.
Okay, I love that. When it happens to you again, because it's gonna,
She said what she said. The doctor said.
I want you to say, I want you to tell them, what I'm trying to tell you is this. What did you hear? Be like a therapist in that moment. Be like, it sounds like you're responding to something that I didn't say. So let's go back let's take it back. Let's rewind. But that's what you have to do if you want to try to save the relationship.
See, not everybody has the sound mind that you have. Okay, so it's like women.
Don't generalize.
Oh, okay.
Some women that I have encountered
Okay, some
in
women.
my dating choices.
There you go. Okay. So
Communication.
I love that.
So-
this is working here.
how can I put this?
Like they prejudge you.
Yeah, they're prejudging and
maybe they have baggage.
yeah, that's
They have
probably what it
baggage.
is.
And
Yeah.
I think you
Triggers.
might want to even say like, hey, it seems like based off of your reaction, I triggered something. I did not mean to do that. Let's take a step. You want to go grab a drink of water. I'm going to step out. I'm going to take a deep breath. Let's come back in here and figure out like, what is it that's really going on here?
Oh, Lord. All right, I also think we had a bit of a miscommunication because I wanted to hear how we communicate on these dates. You know, should we be oversharing or should we be undersharing? So it sounds like you guys got to come back for another show.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so
Okay,
great. I have a
all
lot
right,
to say about that.
All right, well, cheers to y'all. I hope we learn how to communicate, okay? Take our deep breaths and analyze, all right? Well, I'm gonna analyze all of these cocktails at Makiin because coming up next, I'm not going behind my bar. I'm going to their bar. I'm gonna have a great time with Nightcap, so you stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. As you saw those gorgeous cocktails on our show, I had to come to Makiin myself. And Lucas, who was in studio,
Hi,
the
welcome.
owner of this gorgeous establishment. Okay, so what does Makiin stand for, baby?
It stands for come to eat. So very simple word, but normally Thai people only invite people to eat when they already accepted to be part of the family. So come to eat, be my family.
I love it. Okay, so the food is fantastic. It takes you through an entire journey of Thailand.
Yes.
But this is the Nightcap, so you know we're here for the drinks, and we got a special sneak peek in studio. But you're gonna take me behind your gorgeous bar?
Absolutely. So this bar took us like the idea came from 3 months fighting with suppliers saying that I cannot do this for another few months. Importing, if you go like up there at the bar canopy, it's a bird god. It's come from Thailand and it looks like the antique artifact. So the government, the Ministry of Arts asked to double check, triple check, inspect, and then doing like the age profile inspect. It took me 6 months to import it all here. I got it out.
And you got it, baby.
Yes.
Okay, and I get to be behind the bar here. All right, what am I making here?
So this cocktail is inspired by Thai New Year, which is happening right now. So it's called Chiang Mai Songkran. In Thai, it's a city.
Chiang Mai Songkran.
Chiang Mai is a city that celebrates New Year longest, and then Songkran is the New Year. So it's based with the Thai rum. It's imported from Thailand. It's called Makiin. Go ahead and pull it in. So it's already portioned for you.
See, again, I can't mess this up. Okay.
So the next one is actually lychee juice. Lychee syrup, right? So it's giving a little bit of a, and then
Sweetness.
next is our special ginger syrup.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's thick, baby. That's thick.
So now you add the sours by the lime juice. We don't use lemon juice in the Thai cocktail. Next is, this one, we're giving the flavors. What you can do, you're gonna muddle it. And one Thai chili, depending on how hard you muddle it in, you're gonna give that level of spicy that you like. Now even it's you move it a little bit and start shaking.
Okay, it's time to shake. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the one thing I can do.
There you go. You can do good with that.
That's the one thing I can do.
You still kind of like tone it down a little bit with the bubbly.
Oh, okay, yes. We need it because apparently I did too much spice. Right?
Here you go.
That?
See?
All right. I want you to straw test it. And make sure. Okay, I
Well-
want her to get spiced out too. All right, let's see what I
Shouldn't be
did.
that bad, right? It's how spicy is that? wait.
No. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna have a
Okay.
hard time not finishing that one. Okay.
All right, so This one, I promise, will be a little easier, right? It's our take of the profile as if who like bourbon. So we use another type of Thai rum, and that Thai, we're proud to present that is 2017 World Rum Award winner. That is
Okay.
one of the things that we can do also. So that is our Thai rum.
Thai rum. Award-winning Thai rum. Okay.
And then next is bourbon. And then that is bananas infused syrup. This is extra bitter, so general one, so yeah. So we finish this one with a little smoke. All right, now ready to.
Okay, that's inviting as hell. I have to drink it now. Yes. All right, listen, now I gotta drink these cocktails and enjoy some of this food. You know what I'm saying? Okay, listen, you wanna get your Thai fix? The best place to come is visit my girl Lou Cow at her restaurant, Makiin, baby. Come eat. Cheers to you. We'll see you guys next time.